up? It's Sebastian Mikael, and you're checking out YourMusicMyWorld.com. Check it out.
So, when you first came on the scene, you were known as De-lor, which means of gold in French, I believe. And now you go
Yeah.
by Sebastian Mikael. What about it? What brought on the name change?
Well, I'm actually from Sweden. I'm not from France, but growing up, like Europe is every country's really close to each other. So, I had a lot of French people around me, stuff like that. But I just decided to go back to my real name when I started doing my artist thing.
Okay. Well, some of your fans know you as De-lor, and some know you as Sebastian Mikael. Well, who exactly is that? How can you define yourself?
Right, that's a good question. I mean, when I first started, like I said, I started out producing and writing for other people, and it was me and another guy who's actually from France, and we went by the name De-lor. And then I started doing just my artist thing, and I just kept the name De-lor because it just made sense. Because a lot of people, especially in the college area we was at in Boston, like knew me by that name. And then I started going with that name, but I don't know, I kind of felt like I felt like it was time for me to go back to my real name because I felt like the music I had and just how I was, I wanted people to really get to know me, and I felt like you can't really go wrong using your real name, because you can always, the long ones are like, man, I don't like that name no more, like, you know what I mean, like when you're older or whatever, like, man, I don't know why I picked that name, that that name's corny, whatever, I want to, you know what I mean, so I didn't want to have to go through that, so I just said, let me just stick with my real name, and because you're never going to regret using your actual name, so that's the reason why I did that.
So, in a sense, it was evolution that you just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how the evolution affects your music since you first became independent artist with Slip Inside Records?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible because, we started out just going on the road, like when we first made Last Night and, decided that that was the first single, we just, got in the car, went on the road, all of us, and, just went around to every single market and performed, went to different stations, did interviews, met a lot of people. So we just we just had the mindset of like, independently, we just wanted to like really break the song, and it's a blessing to see that it paid off, It's incredible.
Definitely. Now, what do you think made your song Last Night with Wale such a big hit on the radio?
I really think it was just us getting on the road, to be honest. I feel like even though, where we at right now, technology, everything is online, and that's the era I'm from, so that's really the only thing I knew, like, just online, you put out your songs online, you do, viral videos and all that type of stuff, but they kind of introduced me to the old school way, and when we did actually realize, like, how effective it was, like, actually going to different markets and touching the people and performing all that stuff really, really pays off, so I feel like that really made, the record a bit bigger,
I can see that. Now, I also read that you went to Berkeley, and I also found out that while you were there, you released your first mixtape, De-lor, which had a signature melodic pop sound. Now, with your new materials, such as remix with Drake's Worst Behavior and recently Forever, exhibit more of a R&B influence. Now, what kind of sound can your fans expect to hear on your debut album?
Definitely a soulful feel. That's me. I feel like soul music and the R&B. That's always been my heart. You know what I mean? That's like I'm an R&B singer, so the sounds that I did for like the De-lor mixtape, it had everything from pop to R&B to acoustic. So to be honest, I did that because a lot of those songs I wrote for other people, and they didn't get placed to any artists. I just myself put it out as myself, but after that mixtape, I kind of just decided to focus on one style and kind of just go back to my roots, and that's that's the soulful music. So people can definitely expect a soulful album. Definitely real R&B. That's Forever is one of my favorite tracks on the album, and it definitely has like more of an old school soulful feel to it. And, also I mix in other elements, of course. Like Last Night we had, Throwback Field, and then we had like a trappy So the context was interesting to me, and we did a lot of that for the album. So
you mentioned that your new album, the fans can expect to have a more of a soulful R&B type of sound. So is that any respect to songwriters that you felt interest with, like Marvin Gaye, Wyclef Jean? Like, how have they influenced your songwriting?
I think that Marvin Gaye influenced me vocal-wise. Just his vocal technique, the way he made songs, and more importantly, like the emotion and like the honesty he had in all the songs. Like, I feel like he's one of those singers that really every song he did was a heartfelt and an honest song. You know what I mean? And it really touched and inspired other people. So that's one thing that I looked up to about. And Wyclef, I play guitar as well, and his style and what he writes songs and the simplicity of his music is, inspired me as well. Like, he's the type of artist where he started making a song, playing guitar, and just, singing it. You know what I mean? And that's how I write my music as well. Like, I make sure that the song will sound good just with guitar and vocals. So when I build it up, it's not going to take anything away. It's just going to, put something extra with it.
So that's your writing process?
You said what?
So that's your writing process?
Yeah, that's my writing process. Like, I always start using chords and vocals, and then after that I build around it with, the production and all that stuff.
How much writing did you do on your own album this time?
Most of it. I'm always, I have co-writers with me, but I'm always, in the writing process on my music,
Well, besides Wale, what other artists have you collaborated with on your upcoming project?
Well, we have two other for the album that I can't really announce at this point, but we've collabed with obviously Beat the Land, which are the producers of Last Night and Forever. We also had our next single together as well, and also collab with our Rico Love, which is one of the people that I've worked with for a long time. So it only makes sense having him on the album as well. Other than that, I have producers as well that are very talented. That's on the album, and I definitely want to keep all the other features as a surprise for the fans and everybody listening.
Now, I saw recently on your Instagram that you're on the road, like in Memphis in the area.
Yeah.
So while you're on the road, who do you listen to?
Who do I listen to? A lot of Sade. I feel like Sade. She's actually one of my inspirations too, and I don't know. It's just like. I just listen to her music wherever I go. She's always gonna, be stuck with me. You know what I mean? Wherever I go. So definitely Sade, Bob Marley, Drake. Who else? I don't know if you've heard of Cocaine 80s. This is a writer named James Follower that I listen to a lot. He has a project called Cocaine 80s. Yeah, that's like some of those artists.
Well, do you all have a tentative release date for the album or the album title for your upcoming project?
Yeah, the album title Speechless.
It can Forever be expected to be on the album too, or is that the follow-up of the single Last Night?
Yeah, Forever's definitely on the album, and we're gonna have a follow-up single as well after that with the same producers, and we're actually putting out a mixtape in March, which is kind of gonna be. There's a lot of long mixes, like a EP type of thing, before the album. That's gonna have like music that didn't make the album, but it's like still music that I'm excited to put out. So.
And as you all recently shot the video for Forever, so when are you all planning to put that out?
I'm not sure yet. Really soon though, because we're actually going through the last edits right now for the video. So yeah, it's super exciting. It's gonna be dope.